Hey guys, I'm Taylor James.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What do you do, Taylor?
Yeah, what do you do?
So I am a songer. Come here. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I produce my own music, and yeah, I'm just an artist in St. Louis here.
So when you say produce, do you do everything?
Yes.
From the writing to the everything,
Yeah.
mastering and.
Yeah, so I come up with the concept for an EP,
Yeah.
and then I write all the songs out, and I produce it all. I use Logic, which is a
Gotcha.
digital audio software. I don't know what you call it. And then I just mix it all and produce it, and then I actually send it off to get mastered.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
For like to get it mastered.
Yeah.
I usually find someone online. There's like different.
Gotcha.
Like Fiverr is one of the websites that you can find
Gotcha.
people who master.
I know we sent the two EPs that I've been a part of. We sent ours off to these guys over in where are they? They're over on the East Coast somewhere, but they're called Nada Recording.
Right.
They're pretty good.
Oh yeah, not it.
They're pretty good.
Good. That's awesome.
Well, sometimes you see like I follow a lot of different artists, and sometimes you see some of them like if they need some money, they'll like master
Oh really?
stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to hold out to send it to somebody cool.
Yeah.
For my music.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
There's-
because
Go ahead.
It's usually about the same price anyway.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, and there's also a lot of people will use like, oh, I helped master a John Bellion song, and he touched it like one time, and it was
Yeah.
like years ago, and so I always end up listening to a lot of their work that before I get it off
Yeah.
to get it mastered, and then
Right.
also just fits the genre that I'm in. Like, so I'm more of like a pop genre,
Mhm.
and so we like our bass heavy and
yeah.
whatnot. So there's different mastering for different genres.
Yeah,
and
for
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely there's even different when you go to studios. There's different studios you want to go to for different genres.
Mhm.
I know not all studios are great at
Yeah.
recording
Mm-hmm.
certain genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is someone asked me, they're like, what studio do you go to?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't go to a studio. They're
Mm.
like, you produce everything yourself? And I'm like, yeah. But how I started on that is,
Yeah.
I started producing and whatnot, and I told my dad or something, I'm like, I should just go to a studio.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was like, we were talking back and forth, and I realized, I'm like, the stuff that I want to do takes a lot of time. Like, it might be a week from the day I wrote the song that I realized, I want this sound in it, or I want it to do this with the song.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so going to a studio is really good for like bands, because you can rehearse the song, practice what you want to do. But for me, it's like a whole bunch of tracks and production that I love doing.
Yeah.
That
I'm with
studio
you on
time would just be so expensive for
Oh,
me
yeah, it
to
would.
figure all that out.
Yeah. Definitely. Because you when you're doing it yourself, you can try everything, and you don't have to worry about money
Mhm.
or anything.
Yes.
So
You can spend more time being creative.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and then I realized, I started buying a whole bunch of crap like for my studio, my little home studio, and I'm like, one day I was working on my last EP, Sentimental, and I was working on a song, Happy, and I was so stuck on what I wanted to do that I just had to I took a lot of the stuff I bought and I just moved it out, and I had one MIDI keyboard in my laptop,
Yeah.
and that was when I realized stripping all that stuff away and just going back to like a basic setup,
Yeah.
kind of like, it made me feel like that this is what I have to work with, so it really put pressure on me I'm going to do it with this guy, with this keyboard, and with these sounds. I'm not going to buy anything else or use anything else, and it kind of puts you in a position where you have to do something, and you're not so like stuck. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
opportunities. So.
Yeah, that's definitely because I always write music straight, just acoustic guitar, super stripped down, so that I can just build on it later.
Mm-hmm.
I find that it's helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because sometimes if you have, you spend so much money on all this stuff, and it's like, oh, what do I use?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
true.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, definitely.
And you end up picking up different guitars or like
Yeah.
different things, and you're like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like, but yeah, just having a guitar or a piano is the best way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know when I first I play the drums, right? I don't really write music like that, but like I bought
You
my.
wrote a song once.
We don't talk about that. We don't.
I want to hear this song.
No, you don't.
So we were like 12.
It was
No, like 13.
12 or
I don't
13.
know, same
I don't know.
age.
First band, Bypass. Check them out.
Remember
You
that?
can't because it's non-existent.
Do you remember
Uh,
Bypass?
No,
Bypass?
Yeah.
No.
Did you go to Fox Middle?
No, he didn't go to
No,
Fox
okay.
Middle.
Okay.
No, he didn't go to Fox Middle.
I don't know.
Uh,
I'm
Bad.
sure it was a great band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, for
We
you
did
guys who
all
don't know,
all the functions for
Oh,
Fox
really?
Middle
Yeah.
School.
Taylor, we went to high school with our friend Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We actually were in drumline together.
We were for 1 year.
One year? Yeah, I think
1
so.
year. It was my freshman year. That's funny.
Yeah. But we had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
But one of my first kits I bought on my own was I bought this giant kit, like it was like a freaking like 10-piece kit or something. It was giant. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
remember that?
Yes.
And then I ended up going right like back to like a 4-piece. I'm like, I don't need all
You don't
this.
need
I
all
don't
this
know what to
shit.
use. It's too much.
Is that when you were still learning how to play?
Yeah,
Or-
it was pretty early.
Yeah, that's almost too like intimidating.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, because for me piano, I started off with like a 44 key,
Yeah.
and if I would have started off with an 80, what is it, 81,
80,
88?
88.
I don't know, 88.
88 is full, yeah.
I would have been like, I don't even know. Thank you. I would have been like so intimidated because I'm like, there's so many keys, I could do so much. And then, but yeah, so starting small is always like a good place to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know in high school you were in drumline. When did you start branching out to other stuff, or were you just always doing that? I had no idea.
So, no, yeah. I mean, I've been playing instruments like my whole life, and
Yeah.
then I felt like I was in band. In middle school, I was in like jazz band. I played percussion and stuff. My dad plays drums, and my brother plays drums, and so like I felt like, oh, that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
But I was never really good at drums. I was always good at like other instruments, and so I joined percussion in the band and actually played alto sax for like a year.
Whoa.
I know. I can play the Titanic theme song on the
Oh.
saxophone.
This guy's a professional.
I can play the
That's it, yeah.
Flintstones theme on trumpet.
Can you really?
Same thing. Yeah, it's just like I did trumpet for
There we go.
Yeah, he did.
5 weeks.
In elementary
Whatever
school,
it was.
he played trumpet.
That's awesome.
And I still could do the Flintstones. Nail it.
That's great, yeah. Sometimes I pull it out and get it all set up just to play the Titanic. But yeah, I joined percussion and did all that. Did jazz band. I thought I was like all badass and everything.
Mhm.
I went to high school and I did drumline, and I just didn't enjoy it. Just didn't feel like what I was supposed to do. And
Yeah.
so I actually dropped out of band, and then I got that Christmas my parents got me. Well, okay, let me say this. So I wanted to sing like my whole life, and my dad was like, I don't think that probably not the best singer, and I'm like, I go,
Our dad did the same thing.
yeah, and I'm like,
Only his
I
dad
go,
was right. So.
Damn.
oh, that's a burn.
No, I
Hey,
love your singing, chick.
No, it's what's said has been said. I
but
get carried.
So I'm like, what can I do? Because I really want to be a part of all this music and everything like that. But I'm obviously not a good singer, and so I started, I'm like, Dad, I want to produce. Like I heard of this thing of like production,
Yeah.
and like I heard all these like new electronic sounds and everything, and I'm like, oh, I want to produce. And so he got me this little kit. It was like a little Apple Mini. It's like a little computer.
Okay.
And then like I just plugged my keyboard into it, and I used GarageBand.
Yep.
And I started there, and I would just make literally like little tiny like 4 like 1 measure beats, and then I would open up a new one and start a new one. And so that's what I did, and it just kind of grew and grew, and I started singing more. And I'm like, you know what, Dad, I'm gonna sing. I don't care what you say.
Do it, Dad.
And it was rough to start, but I've gotten better, I think, and so yeah, and that's kind of how I got into production. And then I just watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was
that's what we can do nowadays.
yeah, it's nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little story on how I got started producing and stuff.
That's cool. So, I know you last year you went to UMSL.
Yeah.
What were you doing here again? You were
So I was like my major.
yeah.
Yeah, I went 1 semester, and I was gonna do media studies, and I was in the honors college too, and whew, that sucked. I hated it. I
Hated it.
Yeah, I drove from. It was
Yeah,
like it's
that's-
like
that's always rough.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a 30-minute drive,
Yeah.
45 in the morning.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that it was just exhausting. I hated all of it, and I liked two of my professors, and that's because like every other week they'd be like, oh, my child's sick. You guys have class out in that email. But the crappy part is that I would get all the way here
And then see it.
and then see it and then like check my email. And I'm like, oh my
that's
gosh. And so I just hang out or do whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's not for everybody.
No, yeah, definitely. And when I first dropped out, I'm like, I'm gonna do music. I'm gonna make it. I was like living with my parents. I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna be like huge and all. It was like this crazy idea. And then got through that second semester that spring. And then over the summer, I'm like, I should probably get like a full-time job. And so, yeah, started working at State Farm. And now I'm like able to, when I go home, I don't have to do homework.
Yeah.
I can like just forget about work and then just dive into to music.
Yeah.
So,
That's nice.
That is nice.
yeah.
Some of us wish we could do that.
You guys are almost done. You're almost there, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah,
Yeah, I got a lot of free time still.
it's true. We do have way more free time than some other people who go to college,
Yeah.
which is why we can do this.
Good. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is fun.
What? Give me the eye. You gave me the eye.
I have questions. Sorry, I wrote down some questions earlier.
Organization.
Do you guys want me to ask you some questions? Is this,
Sure,
should
ask
I
us
just
a question.
Flip the podcast.
Flip
All
the
right,
podcast.
This is my podcast
This
now,
is
guys.
this is now Taylor's podcast.
Boom.
Taylor, the TJ, the Taylor, the man,
the man.
This is his podcast
This
now.
is my podcast, guys. What's up?
What's up?
All right. Do you have the question? Am I actually supposed to ask you questions?
Hit me with your juiciest question, Eli.
Oh shoot.
He did more preparing than I did.
Yeah.
I woke
It
up.
wasn't very much. It wasn't very much.
He woke up at like at 10 o'clock and he's like, I guess I should write down a question or two.
So you told me before we started that you played 3 shows now, right?
Yes.
And what did you think of those 3 shows?
My first show was great. I actually opened up for this band called Steeples. They're a local pop group.
I feel like I've heard of them.
Yeah, I actually featured on one of their songs too.
Oh, cool.
Okay?
That's
so
cool.
yeah, they're an awesome group. Love them. So shout out to them. But it was fun. And then the second show was I opened for these girls who came from, I don't want to mess this up, Philadelphia, I think.
Okay.
And so they were really cool, super talented. That was also fun. And then I just had one on the 30th.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't make it.
Oh
We
no,
were,
you guys are good.
we're out of town, I think. But yeah.
No, yeah, that one was also like really fun. I have a great, my family always comes out and supports me, and then I'm just like a great group of like fans and stuff that come out, and they're awesome.
So what's your setup like?
Yeah, so I'm by myself currently.
Mm-hmm.
There's some works, it's in the works for a band. We'll see, and then I have a keyboard and I have like a little drum pad, beat pad thing.
Okay.
And so I just kind of go up there and I have my backing tracks and stuff, and it's a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the weird? Have you had like a weird moment like during the concert yet? Because we've had some weird ones.
Definitely had some weird ones. I usually just get like, there's times where sometimes it doesn't go well. Like we've played enough shows where sometimes
Yeah.
it's like I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
And then you look at everybody like, I don't think anyone else is feeling this.
Actually, just this last show, so I print out little set lists because I changed so many things the last minute and rearranged songs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is the final set list. And so I have my Mac up there, my MacBook, and
Right.
I use that to have all my MIDI sounds, and I fire my tracks from an iPad.
Okay.
And so I was up there and I forgot my set list when I was setting everything up.
Oh,
So
I've done that
there's
before.
there's no paper set list. And I'm like, I go, oh crap, it's okay. Everything will pop up on my laptop. I'll see all the songs there, right?
Yeah.
My laptop, I put it on Do Not Disturb, but some dude in the crowd just thought it was funny just to airdrop everyone in the Firebird.
Oh, what?
In the place I played, yeah. Just pictures randomly, and my Do Not Disturb was on, but I was getting these dings every now and then. It was really funny because it only happened twice, but like I don't think other people heard it in the house, but I had my in-ears in,
Yeah.
and so all of a sudden I hear ding, and I'm like, At least it went with the beat.
Yeah. It's just another layer. You don't understand my sound.
Yeah, but I was getting all these pictures, and I'm like, my Do Not Disturb's on, and then my laptop, like, went to sleep, and so the screen went black, and I'm like, I don't know what song's next, and then my ears, like, went intro 2, 3, 4, which is like, if I have a song that starts quickly or I sing right away, I need an intro so I know when to come in with the tracks.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And so I heard that. I'm like, what song is this? And so luckily I figured it out because I don't know.
Yeah, it's part of doing it.
That was a weird moment. I was like, yeah, and a lot of people don't understand when they're in the audience, like, how much, like, I'm thinking about so much.
Yeah.
In my head that the words are just coming out, like, it's crazy, and there's moments where I really feel them and stuff, but yeah, for the most part I'm thinking about, like, all right, so I have to sell merch after this, and my ears are kind of acting up, and my laptop's going, like, all of that while I'm singing, and so it's crazy.
It's almost, you can almost get to where, like, you're in that, like, you're just, like, almost just watching yourself do things,
and then afterwards you're like, I don't even remember
what just happened.
Dude, for me, every time, it happens whenever Eli plays, but it happens, like, pretty much every show, like, because, like you said, you have to think about so much stuff, so, like, you mess up, like, a couple things, and then afterwards, like, fucking messed up.
Yeah.
These 2 things, and it's pissing me off. And I was like, you did a great job. Like, no, I didn't.
No,
I fucked up these 2 things.
You remember that note I missed? And you're like, no? And I'm like, well, I do, so... And then you're just dwelling on that. You're like, it was so bad. And, You always see the
You only remember the bad stuff.
We've also had, like, some stuff that was really bad happen, and some of our friends who came to the store are like, oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Like, how did you not notice that my guitar stopped working?
Yeah, or, like, me and, like, Luke were off from the rest of the, or, like, I was off from the rest of the band. We were off from each other.
Oh, no.
And they're like, they don't even notice sometimes. I'm like, what do you mean you don't? It's literally... I don't know.
Well, it's crazy how, like, the amount of, we're just, like, more musically inclined. And so when people are listening to music, they don't really, like, I had this moment where I try to make people clap, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's clapping off beat. And it
it's
messes
the worst.
with, like, your head.
Yep.
It's the
and
worst.
You're like, am I off beat or are they off beat?
It's so bad.
But then I realize, I'm like, that person who's clapping off beat won't.
No, they have no idea.
No.
Exactly, yeah. I guess that's true. The people who clap off beat have no idea.
Yes. They don't know if you mess up. They're like, oh, the whole thing was great.
Yeah. That's why it's good to have a couple people who come to your shows who really know what they're looking for, so you can talk to them about it.
My fucking dad.
Yeah,
he'll tell me the 2 things that I fucked up.
Yeah. Well, it's also, like, funny because, like, after the show, like, they notice things and they think it's good altogether, like your family and people who are musicians, but they always, like, feel the need to tell you, like, right off. They're like, oh, you did a great job, but there's always that but, like, right after you go off the stage. I'm like, just tell me, like, a week from now.
Yeah, tell me, like, I'll ask you tomorrow, but, like, right now I just need some support.
Yeah.
Great set, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's funny. Any more questions on your
yes, actually. So I know, so you played 3 shows, so you're pretty new in the St. Louis music scene, I'd say.
There's so many facets of the scene too.
What do you think of the scene? I know you're mostly in the pop scene because that's how it happens. But what do you think so far?
I honestly think that there needs to be more. I mean, when people think of, like, St. Louis local scene, I feel like it's a majority of either alternative, like, I would say alternative rock type, or, like, heavy metal, or like metal. Downtown, like St. Louis rap. Which I like all 3 of those genres.
Yeah.
It's just not, like, pop. That indie pop isn't really that present. You have people coming by, like, that aren't huge, that are playing at the Firebird and stuff like that. But it's just there's not that big of a representation from St. Louis, and so trying to build that is kind of tough. Just because, a lot of my friends are at school somewhere and doing stuff, and so trying to bring people out is kind of hard. And I try to go to local shows as much as I can, but and also St. Louis, I feel like there's a bad rep of locations of different venues that are just sketchy and stuff.
People who are from Arnold, where we're from.
Yes,
they I don't know why
they are so scared of the city. We've had to selling tickets so many times. I'm like, hey, we're gonna play a show this weekend, and they're like, where's it at? I'll be like, Foo Bar, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
I don't go there. I don't travel to that part of the city.
Which, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't go there and like feel like it's like uber safe or anything like that.
Yeah, but as long as you know
exactly
what, like, watch your surroundings, you're fine. It's fine.
And there's gonna be
Firebird is so okay.
Yes,
that's
where
where my mom works.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
She works at the building right behind Firebird.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that one's not bad. As long as you're like safe and like kind of look out and make sure you know. Yeah.
People are so weirdly scared of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know. The news reports a lot of bad stuff. You know, like if you know where you're at, you're fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, where we live now is probably worse than some of those places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Loop is pretty bad, but people always go down there.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
I don't know. I feel like anywhere you go, it could be rough, but I enjoy the local scene. There's so many nice people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of nice people.
And so
there's also a lot of dicks.
Yeah. And
there are quite a bit.
And I'm just trying to build a presence, not just in St. Louis, but other places as well. And I'm actually got lucky. One of my songs from Sentimental, maybe I did it with this.
Is that the one with like 97,000 views on Spotify?
I just checked it, and it was like, it's almost at 100,000.
That's insane,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah,
that's like
exciting.
Those are numbers. That's real numbers.
I did it with this girl from she goes Missouri State. Her name is Morgan Ladyman.
Mm-hmm.
She's super nice, great singer, and
I tried to look for. Does she have any other music out?
She does not. No.
Okay, because I looked on like Spotify. I was like, I want to see, maybe she has a following also, or. But no, she's not there.
Yeah, I've been trying to talk her into starting her own stuff. I told her I'd help her out a little bit.
Yeah.
So hopefully she does. Morgan, if you're listening, you should definitely definitely make your own music there. But yeah, it's super fun and man, it just like took off like a week after I released the EP.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was going on release radars for people's
awesome.
music,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of a good feeling when I looked on a list of cities, like top cities it was played in, and St. Louis was 30th.
Oof.
And so, and like, don't get me wrong, I love St. Louis, but it was just kind of cool to see that my music was being played in these other cities.
That's awesome.
Cool.
It's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite song out of what I've listened to, and I've listened to a fairly decent amount, is "I Miss You."
I Miss You.
Yeah, that song is really good. I
appreciate it.
Just the beat and your the singing and everything. Just it's great.
That's a lot of people's favorite song. That one's always fun to play live. There's a little part in it where it's like 10 Days Without You and I Feel Unsteady.
Yeah.
And I just take out my in-ear and I listen to the crowd sing it because it just, I don't know, it's a blast.
Yeah, it almost has like this, I don't know, just this maybe like reggae feel to it.
Yeah, I was going for that actually.
It's I definitely heard it. Yeah. Definitely this reggae feel. And I love reggae music and it's just awesome.
Mm-hmm. I just love being able to like I want to use this sound. I want to try to. I've been really into brass lately. I've actually had to cut back on the amount of brass I've used in my songs. And so that's what I'm trying to work with now. My next EP, I'm really trying to go for variety. I mean, I listen to all types of music, and I really want to express that in my music. And I want to have like summer songs that are fun to sing live, because I was actually setting up this live show and I'm like, crap, all my songs are sad. I can't I want to throw a beach ball in the crowd.
These are winter songs.
Yes.
I need summer songs.
Exactly. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna throw a beach ball in the crowd talking about how I miss my girlfriend. It just doesn't seem right. But,
Oh, that's good. You've listened to some, right?
Yes.
What did you like? Like
I couldn't tell you.
Well, you said you liked the production on it. You told me that.
I thought it was great for home recording. That's fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah. What like mic do you use?
So I use a Rode. I don't want to mess this up. N41A. I'm gonna just go out there. People know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It was a really nice mic, and I could have told you a few months ago, but I just forgot now. And then I use a Focusrite Scarlett 8i8 for my interface.
Nice.
And
you just run it. You don't have a preamp. You just.
No, I just run it straight.
That's
and then
impressive
I do
for the quality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I do all my I go on Waves Tunes, which is like a plugin.
Yeah.
Basically website where you can get all these plugins, and I look for deals, and then I get different like compressors and reverbs and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So you're working on a new EP?
I am currently.
When do you think that's gonna come?
Ooh. Oh, I'm always bad at this, guys. So I'm shooting for. I actually extended this out more. I'm shooting for beginning of June.
Beginning of June.
So yeah, that may
That's
be wrong.
cool.
It may come earlier or it may come like 5 months late. We'll see.
So will that be 4 now? 4?
That will be 4.
4. Dang.
Yes. I'm working
over just 2 years, right?
Yes, just 2 years.
18,
Actually,
19?
the
Or was-
27th
there
of
was a-
April is going to be the 1 year of my first EP.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So
That's cool. You've been busy.
yeah, I've been trying to. I really, this is what I want to do with my life. I work at State Farm. I love it there.
But you don't want to be Jake from State Farm.
I
You don't want to be that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a low blow.
But I want to make this my career. I want to really grind on it and work hard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what is like, what do you do to get like inspiration, and where do you go to find creativity?
Oh, that's a good question. I really just draw from. I suck at talking. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, we
realize
both
that.
do. That's why we have this.
Yeah, I suck at talking. It's just hard for me to express how I'm feeling. So
Yeah.
podcasts are hard sometimes,
Mhm.
and so from a young age, just writing music and it's just like it's my way of explaining how I feel and honestly telling. It's how I tell people things that I'm too scared to actually tell
Right.
them in person.
Right.
You
So
know,
it's like an
Yeah.
extension of
yes,
yourself.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I believe in that. You know, I'm not gonna just write. Do I want my music to be played on the radio? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Or be huge, but I'm not gonna write something that I don't mean. Like
Mm.
that's
Sure.
songwriting to me is an escape from and a way to vocalize how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
art in general is a great way to express emotion,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why it's so special.
Not breaking any barriers with that statement.
Special to people in general, and like in all cultures you see it. It's
Mhm. Yeah.
it's just special.
Yes, it is for sure.
Do you have a favorite song of yours?
Of mine.
Of yours?
That's a tough
Ooh,
question.
that is.
I know.
I love these questions. It makes me have to think.
Hits hard.
I really like my. Okay, I have 2. One of them is "Happy," which is on my new EP, "Sentimental,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's the last song, and it's basically like the name of the song is a word to describe what I'm aiming to feel by writing the song.
Okay.
So it's like not all of it's happy or anything like that. It's just that hopefulness that you get when you're getting close to someone and you may be able to win them back. And so that song is to me just means a lot to me because in the moment I wrote it, like I was almost in tears, but I know I wanted to feel this sense of happiness.
Yeah.
And so that's why I named it that. So that song means a lot to me. I love performing it. And then Richland, which was on 18 Hours, which was my first EP.
Mm-hmm.
And that song, like, it's a true story. I was with my girlfriend, and we were driving from Springfield back to St. Louis here, and we broke down in a small town called Richland. And, I mean, you could listen to the song and get the whole story. And I'm not going to tell it now, but that song means a lot to me just because it always brings me back to that moment and how, I don't know, there's little things, like, looking back, I'm not, like, old or anything like that, but, like, that I realized I was 17 at that point, and now I'm 20, and like I've grown up so much since then, and I know I have so much more growing up to do. And I think realizing that, I look back on the song and how much that moment affected me in my life it's just crazy. So that's one of my favorite songs too. Yeah,
I like that. I think it's important to be able to look back and realize the growth that you have.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then sometimes you don't grow.
Yeah, well, especially at our age, there's people who either look back and realize, wow, I was stupid. I made mistakes and I suck, but I'm gonna do my best. I have so much more growing to do now.
Yeah.
And then there's also people who are like, oh, I'm like
nothing matters. I'm
Exactly.
living forever.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's at this point where it's like, okay, I know I'm not all the way grown up. I know that I have so much learning to do and so much life to live to be able to, have the wisdom that I would like to.
Yeah.
But at least I can acknowledge that, and I think that's a good step.
That's cool.
I think that's a healthy way to do life. So, how do you start your writing process? Do you you get a notebook, you write down ideas, do you write the music first or get beats?
It all depends. There's songs where I start just on a piano and I write it from the piano. There's songs where a lot of the times I make a beat and then have some production elements and then I write the song. And there's been times where I do that. I write the song and then I totally change out the production but keep the lyrics and the melodies. Yeah. Sometimes I'm in I sing in the shower. And so everyone does. And I find a melody that I like and I play around with that. And I have so many recordings on my iPhone of me. Like I will cut a shower off early to hit record. And there's been times where I'm like, my screen isn't working because there's water all over it. And I'm like, I just need to record this real quick before I forget it because I suck at that. If I'm not recording while I'm like jamming out,
you'll forget it forever.
Literally like 2 seconds later, I'm like, what did I just do?
What was that? It was so good, I think, maybe. I don't know.
It sounded good. I'm like, but yeah, that's always going to happen. So I always try to make sure I have something to record first. But lyrics-wise, I just, I find that melody and it kind of comes easy to me to kind of spit those out. And then I shop it from there and kind of
for sure
form it into what it's going to be about. So.
Is that kind of what you do a bit?
Similar. It depends.
Yeah.
I like a lot of things. Because for me, it's very spontaneous.
Yeah.
So, if I write a music thing and then I focus on lyrics pretty heavily, over melody sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I just write, some shitty thing, and so I can put lyrics on it, and I'm like, all right, now I can make real thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's so important. It's starting off with I don't really start with a theme. It's more of I'll just be playing piano or whatever. Oh, this is beautiful, and then I say something. I'm like, I like that. That sounded deep.
That's
and then
good.
I'll take that and I'll actually build it off of my life.
Yeah.
And I'll apply those things.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's super fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I turn off the lights and sit in the dark, and force myself to be sad if I'm trying to write a sad song. And so,
Look at old pictures.
Oh, that's deep. You walk into
That's a song lyric.
That's what I walk in and Jake doing that all the time. He's just looking at old pictures.
What are you doing, Jake? I'm crying. I'm trying to write a song.
They're physical pictures.
They're like old Polaroids.
Yeah.
He doesn't even own a Polaroid camera, but he has them.
They're pictures of strangers.
There's nobody we know.
It makes me so sad.
They're stock photos, but Polaroid stock photos.
Look at all these people that could have been my friend.
When you buy picture frames, you just collect all the pictures that come within them, and then you stare at those for inspiration.
Look at these happy families.
Yeah, you're like, I'll never have one.
Well, I'll tell you from my one song writing experience.
Oh, let's talk about your one song.
Which I'm gonna drop in the 2030.
The year 2030?
The year 2030.
Oh man, that's a good year.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good year.
What's the song about?
Yeah.
Just give me a chance, man.
Is that what it's about, or are you thinking about it right now?
I forgot that's what it was called. It was called Give Me a Chance.
Oh, that's really what it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
I thought you were asking for a chance for him to think about it.
Nah.
No.
We're gonna stop talking about it.
I kind of want to. Can we hear it after this is over? Then
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if we have that.
It was never recorded. We played it once or twice. Just about giving a chance, Sometimes
just give Eli a chance.
Sometimes you have to give a 12give boy a chance.
Just give Eli a chance.
Wait, what chance did you want though?
It was a girl. I mean, it was 12.
Yeah, I understand.
Just give Eli a chance.
Just give me a chance.
He's trying so hard.
Do you remember what girl it was about? You don't have to say names. I just want to know if you were.
Oh, I know who it was about. Yeah, definitely know what it was about.
Did she ever give you a chance?
Ooh,
it's good.
It was a very short. It was the chance was open for 3 days and I fucked up.
What'd you do?
I think I know who it is.
You should know who it is.
All right, well,
There's like one person.
not a good friend, so
Eli writes a song about how he wants a chance and then ruins his chance.
he was given a chance.
I was given a chance.
So she did her job.
It was 3 days.
After listening to that song, she gave you everything.
It was 3 days.
You won it.
And then she moved on to somebody else. I don't know what he wants. I had.
Now they're married
I was
and they
working
have
up.
kids.
Okay. Here's the thing. I worked up the courage. I worked up the courage on Friday, but on Friday it was too late.
On Friday?
was
Last Friday?
Did you go to like a roller skating rink and with her? That's what you should have done, bro.
Dude,
I
couple
just,
skate.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Sorry.
No. Did you know how to skate?
My life. I know how to skate.
Luckily for you, you knew how to skate. I would go to like the roller rink with, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna skate with this girl,
This
but
is
like the whole
spot.
time they would be like pulling me around because
Yeah.
I didn't know how to skate. So I'd be like, you know,
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna walk on the side and hold their hands.
well, that had either that was the case or because you know how you went on two separate sides of the rink and then
Yeah.
you had to go like pick your partner or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I stayed on my side. I didn't know how to skate, and I'm like, "Hey, you wanna be with me? Like, I'll skate with you." And then one of my friends, I don't know who she was. I don't even remember, but she, you know, came around and picked me up, and I was just like, my knees were bent. I was like sweating real bad and shaking, and she was pulling me around. So that was at least you knew how to skate.
It's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
It's true. We never made it to the skating rink though.
Oh, yeah.
I never made it to asking her out because I waited till Friday. My chance ended on Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. Dang.
Oh man,
So you gotta
memories.
write the follow-up song. Give me
Yeah.
a chance that lasts longer than 3 days.
Part two.
Can I get 5 days instead of 3 days, please?
I need an extension.
That's awesome.
I didn't know there was a due date on this assignment. Fuck.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good stories.
Good story. Speaking of, do you remember?
Oh goodness.
Do you remember when we did the?
Remember.
It was we did the kidnapping.
Oh, on for Drumline?
Yeah, for Drumline. You remember that?
Was it at my house?
Yes.
It was at my house.
It was at your house. And we did the kidnapping.
My brother took
And
one
we
of those sewer drains.
We stole a sewer drain. I helped him steal the sewer drain.
Yeah, like the
What?
lids that go on the sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you told me
Wait,
that.
Yeah,
it's still at our house.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Good. He drove with it like throughout high school in the back of his truck.
Dude, I'm pretty sure like he put so many like more like extra weight on his car like that made it go out faster because he had that in there.
Yeah, he did.
sewer
It's one of those cement
We
like
literally climbed down a rock, a hill that was just like big rocks,
Yeah.
and then dragged it up it. It was like 3 in the morning.
My brother used to I love my brother. He used to keep an orange cone in the back of his car, like in his trunk. So if he left a spot and it was busy, he would just reverse, like back out, and then stick the cone in the spot. So when he came back, you'd have his spot open.
That's amazing.
But yeah, he stole the sewer. Yeah, that was at my house. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think I was in band at that point.
You weren't?
I don't think I was. I think that was our sophomore year.
That might have been our sophomore year.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
That was funny though.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, we still have that. My dad, every time he walks out in the garage, he's like, "When you getting rid of that, Tyler?" He's like, "I don't know."
You can't get rid of it. That was a memory.
I know.
I literally the next day, I didn't sleep at all, and then I went to school the next day, and I was in band, and then somebody walked up and was like, "Oh, you know that pre-SAT thing? That's today."
Oh shoot.
So I went and took it on no sleep. I did really bad.
And that's at the auditorium, isn't it?
Yeah, it was
so
at the-
all the stupid like.
Yeah, I was like, the
And
B.
it's, like, and it's dark in there.
It was
so
dark.
You're over there like,
Oh my god.
I was literally like this. I was like, I didn't sleep on it.
that's awesome.
Everybody gets the results back. You're like, this is not accurate.
Not accurate. This is no sleep. No sleep, Eli.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was sucked
Good
at those things. Like in middle school, we would take the ACT or the pre-ACT,
Yeah.
and it would determine if you could take the actual ACT in middle school.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
all
yeah.
your smart friends were like, "Oh yeah, I'm taking the ACT," and I'm like, well, "I was only like 2 points away," or like, but,
Man, there was like 3 questions and they were complete
Yes.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I fucking.
There's like a whole hierarchy of like honors kids in
Here-
high school.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like I don't.
There's like the one guy. There's like 2 people at the top, and then there's like
Yeah,
I don't know,
down.
just like everybody was always judging each other. It felt like.
Well, I look back at high school, I'm like, crap, I was a terrible person at some points, and so, yeah.
Everybody was.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through a little rough patch in high school. I feel like if you don't, then it's gonna.
Well,
come
how are
at
you gonna
some
learn?
point. Yeah.
Later, you're just gonna be a little asshole, and you're gonna stay that way. So.
That's true. But that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's-
I have one more question, I think, and then I want to talk. I definitely want to talk about your guys' podcast that you
Oh
want
yeah,
to start.
for sure.
Stop moving. How do you plan to move forward in your music career? Like, what's your end goals and like,
Yeah.
just what's your steps, plans?
So my plan, I'm gonna keep releasing EPs, like 4 to 6 songs of just until right now, so if I release 12 or 10 to 12 songs, like how do I expect that to do well? And so I'm gonna stick to singles and EPs right now, just kind of try to build. And honestly, social media I need to work on more. I just don't care for social media in general.
Right.
I hate scrolling through stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
I'm not big on it either, but I've been trying to really work it with this podcast
Yes.
and trying to figure out, because there's different strategies.
Yeah.
Some are kind of crummy though, but like
it's a hard balance, because I feel like people who are artistic like this, right, and like who want to be like doing something in this field, like I feel like a lot of us don't like going on social media all the time and just
Yeah.
like sitting there and scrolling through stuff. And so trying to build a presence when you go on Instagram like once or twice a day can be kind of hard.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
I try to do like 2 posts a week. That's my goal. The last couple of weeks have been rough because we haven't gotten to record, but
Mhm.
like
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, I guess let's talk about your guys' podcast.
Yeah,
You
so-
guys are gonna jump in the podcast
Yeah.
world.
Realm.
Man, I've always been inspired by like inspirational podcasts. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the point of them. So,
Yeah.
and so I really wanted to. I feel like there's not anyone doing it that's like around our age, knowing that we make mistakes, like we mess up, we do stupid stuff, and learning from those mistakes. You always listen to someone who's older,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, he's been through so much, his story's so like inspirational, and I kind of wanted to be. I'm like, I want to do something where it's like people who are in their 20s and haven't lived through some of those situations, but still can relate to someone of our age.
Yeah.
My buddy Tyler's here.
We're gonna throw a whole nother person in the mix right now. What's
Holy
up?
shit.
What's up, Tyler? He's been sitting
Holy
quietly on the couch next to our friend Taylor the whole time.
I'm really patient.
He's been
He's been waiting for his moment.
here. You want to move around there? You'll be a little bit closer to the mic.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, so Tyler, he's a friend of mine, and we're starting this new podcast, and we're gonna call it The Pursuit of Happiness, and it's really like it's nothing like this. I love this type of style of podcast, but it's more of like.
What do you mean chaos?
But we really want to we really want to have people to relate to, especially like men our age who are going to college, who think they're partying all the time and stuff. Like they also have this feeling of like have something to relate to, inspirational. So I spoke to Tyler, and you can kind of take it from here if you want to say anything.
Yeah. What's up?
You kind of said most of it, but I mean, we usually just focus on we've only done 2 so far. We haven't even posted them anywhere, but that's what we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
What did we focused on? What was that last time?
It
I
was
can't remember.
crap. I think it was like we did some stuff like on mental health, and not the way of like if you have like a mental disorder, because that's like something totally different, but just like general day-to-day things. How do you go throughout the day, being as positive as you can and being taking care of
It
it.
really is.
That's cool.
Like not even necessarily just positivity, but like keeping yourself going throughout the day, and
Yeah.
like to not actually be lazy throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times. I mean, everyone can have downtime, but it's nice to always keep yourself going and focus on ways that keeps you more at a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, the way I think about it is there's so many people, like, I want to say guys especially, just because I am a guy and I can relate to it.
Yeah.
Our age who, like, kind of put on a front around their friends and stuff like that.
100%.
And then they might go to their bedroom at night or go home and lay in bed and they think, like, is this the person I want to be? Like, am I doing stuff right? And they start to get all, like, I mean, Sentimental, which is the name of my EP.
Oh, damn!
You should probably go listen to that right now.
No, but they start to get all like, sentimental about like things in their life and how they're affecting themselves. And so being able to relate to someone is kind of what we want to spark.
That's usually what people don't think about that with men our age, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Appreciate it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we brought Tyler in to kind of talk
Woo!
about that.
Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Hey,
All right.
So,
What?
do we have to do the music shout out?
Yeah.
Fucking.
We're
Who's running the podcast?
Oh yeah, guys. Hey, this is my podcast.
This is Taylor's podcast
Hey,
now.
guys, so let's talk.
Wait,
about
I wanted to ask: are you guys gonna do guests at all, or on yours,
Yes.
or mostly you guys?
Yes.
All right.
So we're starting a few by ourselves.
Yeah,
just to kinda
no,
get a
that's
hang of it.
definitely that's
Yeah.
what we did.
Good
We
idea.
want to do guests and kind of bring in more people who like have this thought process and are able to speak about it. Just because, like I said earlier, I'm not the best at like communicating all my thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've been kind of workshopping like, hey, this sounds bad. We kind of sound bad in this area. Like I talk too fast sometimes. I say too often.
You guys do way more work than we do.
Well, yeah. The first 2 episodes basically like finding out how we work together in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, later on bringing on guests, but it's still definitely a work in progress.
No,
right
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
so.
You have to work
Definitely.
on the chemistry and figure out how to project your voice properly.
Well,
Yes.
and especially with what we're talking about, like I started realizing like we have to work on ourselves.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about this, like I better be acting upon it,
Yeah.
And that'd be very hypocritical of me if I didn't. And so
Yeah.
that's also a work in progress too. Like, hey, should we talk about this subject if I'm literally every day not doing that?
Yeah.
Like, how would that
Yeah.
be?
That's why. So one of the things I wanted out of doing this podcast is just I wanted to be able to bring people on like you and other guests and just have fun and B broaden like our horizons.
Yeah.
So because we're gonna bring on people who have different opinions on things at some point when they present themselves. And just because we want to learn and just grow as people.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things.
Mhm.
And I think all just podcasts, conversations in general do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Boom.
what I think is good about podcasting.
Yeah.
I'm
Damn.
happy that you guys are getting into it too.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
it's gonna be fun. I'm super
Yeah.
excited.
And if you ever want us to come on, we'll come on. If you don't, because we're messes, we won't. So.
Oh, hey,
We'll talk about
whoa.
organization on the podcast
Yeah.
that we bring you guys on.
All right.
It's funny. No, but I had a lot of fun. I love just sitting and talking and having
It is
like
good.
intellectual conversations with other people.
Yes.
That make you think.
Yeah, like
Not a pointless conversation.
Right.
exactly. It's
Because
not
people
like,
don't sit down and do that enough.
exactly.
Yeah, they
Like, honestly, Jake, like if I would have walked past you, if we wouldn't have sat down here, I would have been like, "Hey, how's it going?" You've been like, "Good. How are you?" I've
Yeah.
been like, "Good," and that would be the extent of our
Pretty much.
conversation. And I feel like we don't take enough time as people just sitting down and being like, "Hey, like, how are you? Like, are you
Yeah.
okay?" And so
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
And that's why
Very
there's
true.
a lot of ignorance in the world
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's not enough people spreading knowledge through long form
For sure.
conversation.
Or just like letting people know that they truly care about
Yeah.
you or
like
them.
you're there for them and stuff.
Exactly. So for
Oh.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Saving the world.
Saving
Saving
the world.
the world.
One podcast at a time.
Yeah. One city at a time.
There was one night where me and Jake were up. We were up till like 4 a.m. talking
That's
about
like noon.
we were up till like 4 a.m. talking about
Or the noon.
God damn it, Jake. Talking about just so many issues, and at the end of the night, we're like, we
before
saw.
we were podcasting.
It's before we were podcasting.
Yeah.
But we were just. It was one of the things that kind of led me to be like, we should start a podcast.
Mhm.
Yep.
But we were just talking, and we were like, at the end, we were like, we solved all the world's problems. Let's go to bed.
Now let's go tell everyone.
Literally talked so much, I lost my voice.
He lost his voice.
Those are the best conversations. When you spark an idea, like at the end of those conversations, you're like, we should start a podcast. And then you're hyped. And then, like, me personally, I go to bed. So, like, when Tyler and I first talked about doing a podcast,
Yeah.
we got all excited and talked about it. And then I went to bed that night, and I'm like, I really hope that he wants to do this. And then the next day when you text him and we actually, like, we're talking about it, we're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, he's on board. This is going to be fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
that's good. So I think we'll start doing our musical shout-outs now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to start?
Okay, so my musical shout out is Someone I haven't listened to him for a while, but man, I take so much inspiration from him now.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Dermot Kennedy.
Okay.
And he's kind of he's getting bigger now, but he's from Ireland.
Ooh.
And yeah, so he is my favorite song right now is a song called Lost, but also for Island Fires and Family is a great song. Yeah, he's like a folk. He takes roots from Irish folk music and then mixes it with he takes the storytelling from the Irish heritage and then he mixes it with some pop influences and overall it's just a great artist.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. We're gonna play a little clip of Lost here. What is off of?
It's just a single.
Just
right
a
now,
single?
but,
Okay. Single Lost. We're gonna play a little clip here.
I know you'd never leave me behind, but I am lost this time. Are we destined to burn or will we last the night? I will hold you till I hold you right.
Boom. Yo, Jake, editing this, you're killing it. What about you, Eli?
Me?
What's your life-changing musical pick today? Wink. I winked at him.
All right. So my musical shout out this week is from a band called Stand Atlantic. They're getting bigger currently. I started listening to them last year. They were pretty small then, but they're from Australia, and I think they're getting like a lot of recognition here in the U.S. now. But they're pretty awesome. They're like a pop punk band. I think they're a 3-piece. Their lead singer is a female, and she can sing. She got some crazy pipes.
Would you say you don't judge?
I don't judge. I don't judge, but she can sing. She can sing. I don't judge. I literally don't judge. So
I feel like someone who says it that many times. It's like, you know when you're like, hey guys, I'm a cool guy. Like I'm really cool.
I'm
like,
fucking
you should hang
cool.
out with me. I'm pretty cool. You're like, that guy's not fucking cool.
yeah, but for I don't judge. She can sing. They're great, and we're gonna play a little song called Coffee at Midnight. It's off of their, I think it was their
That's
first.
just irresponsible.
Their first EP. I've done it. We've all done it. Coffee at Midnight. Here it is.
I don't wanna say goodbye. Can we just say goodnight? Tell me how to change your mind over coffee at midnight.
You're still killing it, buddy. Okay.
What's up, Jake? What you got?
My
tonight?
song's really sad.
It's not nighttime. Oh,
It's sad.
mine
I
wasn't
like a sad
sad.
song, dude.
I do like a sad song.
The band's called Big Thief.
Big.
They
Thief.
write a lot of sad music, and the song's called Paul. It's off their 2016 album called Masterpiece. And
Nice.
it's a good sad jam. It's about this guy named Paul.
Really?
Fuck Paul.
Dang, dude.
Is Paul not a good
So,
guy?
Where are they from?
I have no idea.
Are they from the U.S.?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I thought we were going with like a foreign,
Yeah, we were going
Well,
foreign. Come on.
Ireland,
All right,
Australia.
give me a second.
Come on, Jake.
My pick is the Russian national anthem.
What album is that from?
It's a single.
It's a single.
It's a
Yeah, that's a hot song.
Obviously. All right, here's that's the first song I said. Whoops.
Paul, was it called Paul?
Yeah.
All right, Paul.
I'll be your morning bright, good night shadow machine. I'll be your record player, baby, if you know what I mean. I'll be your real tough cookie with a whiskey breath. I'll be a killer and a thriller and the cause of our death.
You know my middle name's Paul.
Yeah.
Really?
I hate it.
That's why he likes this song.
Literally Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Oh gosh, that's terrible.
All right. So to end it, I was thinking you want to throw out your social medias,
Yeah.
maybe hint at your music again, where it's at, whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's gonna be _TaylorJamesP_. I'm working on getting an easier one. Just so you guys can follow me on there. My music's everywhere on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to your music on.
Mhm.
And that's my newest EP is Sentimental. You can just search Sentimental Taylor James and it should pop up.
Boom.
And yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was thinking,
Oh.
All right, this is the end, but we're gonna, instead of the normal song we play out to, we're gonna play out to one of his songs.
Oh,
what song do you
how
want?
nice.
Which song should I do?
This song is his actual favorite song, so.
Oh, Happy. Let's do Happy.
Okay.
Boom.
Happy. We're gonna play out to Happy and enjoy it.
All right.
See you guys.
This is the end.
A little closer.